Have you ever thought about what your soul mission is? Have you ever thought about why you're really here?
Is that a question that you get asked often? Like, what am I doing here? Can you tell me what my life's purpose is?
That is probably one of the most common questions, but guess what age group it's coming from?
I'm thinking 50 because I know me and my friends are going, okay, we've lived a lot of our life, but we still don't know what we're doing here.
It's actually coming from late 20s, early 30s. People saying, why am I here? I want to know my soul mission, my soul purpose, my contract. And I think, how cool is that? They're asking.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we never even, I mean, the fact that they think that somebody else knows what their life mission is. I think when I was growing up, I was like, I got to figure out how to make money. you know, I really wasn't thinking like in larger terms, like what is my purpose on this earth? So I guess that's good news that they're thinking broadly and differently. Broadly and differently than we were.
For sure. Yeah. And the first thing I always respond is to live. And they look perplexed.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what do you mean I'm to live? Well, when you're moping around, depressed, sad, you're not living. You're in a low vibration. So we all come in with contracts. Now, some of us come in, Mary, I'm going to be a nurse. There's something in your heart, to pull you to help humanity.
Yeah.
Right? You knew that. Me, I always knew I wanted to help people. I didn't know I'd be doing this.
Yeah.
Who'd ever thought we'd be doing a podcast
together? Yeah.
Right. Sometimes the universe leads you in different ways, but when we come in with a soul contract or a soul mission, what we do is we're all knowing beings before we come in.
Well, it's shocking to me that some people know, like from their childhood, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a teacher. Like they are so sure. I was never that sure. I really wasn't. I was always like trying to figure out who I was and what am I supposed to be doing here.
Yeah. So some people come in with very clear knowings what they're supposed to do. And a lot of us, I'm going to say a lot of light workers and old souls that come in with some pretty hefty themes and missions and contracts kind of get lost in the trauma, the chaos of being human. But the key is, your contract is up here. Your soul mission is here. You don't have to know what it is per se. You just have to raise your vibration to meet it. And then you just automatically start doing it.
So raise your vibration, you mean by doing the work like we talked about earlier. Tapping, meditation, affirmations, being aware of how you're feeling, watching your negative thoughts, and doing all that work.
Absolutely. So, if you know my story, I went through a lot. So my vibration was low. So my soul mission was always here. Yeah, I'd get glimpses of it, feel it in your heart, whatever. But it wasn't until I started to do the work. And when I say do the work, I committed to myself in 2009 to do something for myself every single day, and I haven't missed a day.
Wow.
And sometimes I might be like not feeling good because I get a lot of stuff, and I still do the work knowing it's going to help me get out of it. But over time, your average vibration frequency increases, and you start to tap in to the idea of your soul mission. You start to do tasks that lead into it. Nothing that we go through is wasted.
Yeah. It still sounds like a lot of work. Sometimes I wish I could just go sit down with somebody and they could tell me what that is. And then I could get on my way and I'd be very happy, and then my vibration would come up. I wouldn't be so confused all the time.
First off. Believing is seeing, not seeing is believing.
Right.
You're saying, show me and then I'll be happy. It doesn't work that way.
I know, but wouldn't that be nice?
But it would be nice to have a clear indication of what your soul mission is.
Yes.
Right? I believe back in the day when I was asking, in 2008, I asked somebody, what is my soul mission? Because I could feel a call in my heart but didn't know what it was. And I sat with this really sweet lady who said, well, I can't tell you because you need to figure it out on your own. But what do you like to do? I said, I'd love to talk. Well, there you go. Communication.
Oh.
She goes, that's all I'm telling you. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm going to communicate. So I became a corporate HR and I worked on communications for annual enrollment, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing it would lead into a healing practice and things like that.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I believe with these very in tune people coming in with hearts opening and us really wanting to know,
Mm-hmm.
there are some gifted people out there that can give us more specifics about a soul
Yeah.
mission.
And the great thing about this podcast, the reason why you're listening to this today, is because we are going to introduce somebody to you that you can come and talk to. And he can tap into what is your purpose in this lifetime. And that is Asim, your partner.
Yeah. Not only will he tell you what is your purpose in this lifetime, he will give you ideas or give you information about what your past life were.
Mm-hmm.
And then what themes you came in with.
Mm-hmm.
And then what your soul mission is, and gently pushing you in the right direction. Now, he's very intuitive, very connected.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually your higher self that will be speaking to him, giving him all the information to divulge to you.
Yeah, so it's what I was wishing for is somebody that I could go to and they would tell me, where have I been, where am I going, so that I have confidence stepping forward and into different things in my life that I'm going toward. And I think that that's amazing.
Yeah.
For people, especially for young people. When you think of all the angst that young people and people in their 20s go through trying to figure out what am I going to do with my life, it's kind of cool to know there's somebody you can just come and talk to about it that has another level of wisdom.
Yeah. It's taking that wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's, that understanding, realizing, yeah, I might know, yes, you're going to be a healer and you're going to do this and this, or you're meant to do this, this, and this. But just so everyone knows, you can be told and guided on your path, but we're going to come back to, you need to do the work to get up there.
Yeah.
And this is where so many people just want a quick fix.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for 15 years.
Yeah.
Letting go, allowing, changing. You've been working on yourself.
Yeah.
There's so many of us have been doing so much work. Dr. John Ryan, since beyond 1982.
Yeah.
Dr. Beatty was doing this for 60 years, working on herself. Cryan's been doing this for 50 years. There are people out there who have been doing work on themselves for decades. But what they've been doing is they've been laying the light for those who follow.
Mm-hmm.
So they made my path a little bit easier to open up because they laid the framework. When I was a kid, they were laying the path.
Mm-hmm.
Now more of us are waking up, and as we're waking up and going into our missions and soul purposes, we're laying the foundation, making it easier for the next group.
Yeah.
So we're the way shores and we're being shown from other way shores. So the neat thing is we're working this individually,
Mm-hmm.
but also as a collective.
Yeah.
And then we have people who have these beautiful gifts like Asim. He was born for this role.
Mm-hmm.
He was brought into a cave with his grandfather at age 5, and he was told, you're different. And embrace your differences. But as a young kid, when people treat you so differently, you don't want your gifts. You just want to be normal.
Yeah.
So fast forward many decades later, and we start to embrace who we truly are.
Well, I just think it's so exciting to evolve and to think about different ways that we can be living than just the way that we always thought, that there's new ways to find answers. But the bottom line is we always got to do the work. And so enough with the quick fixes, everybody. I guess Asim's a bit of a quick fix.
He's a quick answer, I suppose, but again, He can guide you. He can tell you. But if your soul mission's there, which it is, a higher vibration, that's where you are in more of your wholeness. How do you become more whole? You have to do the work by releasing the old energy, bringing in the light, doing it in stages, using your affirmations, doing all the stuff we talked about in the last video, the work.
Yeah.
And you matter. Like, where you are is perfect and evolving. I say that all the time because some people say, but I want to be there. Yeah, I want to be there too. Trust me. But I'm slowly waking myself. You're slowly We're all getting there. We're all being divinely guided. So if your divine guidance says, I would like to know my soul mission, I would like to work with the sim, you know what? I'm going to put a link in there where you can request an appointment with him. And it can be done by video. It can be done in person. He's a lovely soul. I mean, you know him very well. And I know him very well. And being in his presence is beautiful.
Yeah. And that is a very interesting way to go. And he is a lovely soul and very blunt. You will get the answers that you need in as short a time as you need them. And it's just another way of learning about yourself.
Thank you for joining us.
If you have any questions or comments, visit us at sobrilliant.ca.
Sending you lots of love and light. Until next time.